What is up, guys? Welcome back here in another Call of Dragons video. Let's talk about a few things in here. Let's talk about the roles of each unit types. So as you guys know, there are 4 units in here. Basically, there is going to be marksman, magic, infantry, and then cabs. So there's 4 units. Well, let's not include flying unit. Flying unit, is also in some of the consideration of either it's a magic or it's a cabs or it's a marksman. It is not an infantry. So we haven't seen an infantry base flying in it. Maybe in the future when there is a new faction, that's what we're going to see, where maybe there is a flying unit that is a tank base. So let's first talk about magic units. Now, I invested in magic units. As you guys remember, I started off with Lilia, and this is one of the easiest heroes to get. You got to buy it from the VIP, then you get Lilia, and then eventually you'll get Veline for the legendary investment. But if you are starting out into the game, you're going to be able to get Waldir. You can play with Alwyn. You can also play with Atheist in here for flying in it. So there's a lot of things that you can do with the magic unit. And what's great about the magic unit is that you have significant long range. And I believe a lot of players play the magic unit within the game because of the PvP fighting. You are going to be attacking at a distance and you're not really going in too deep and getting wrecked. So I like the approach of magic unit. This is something that a lot of players will choose, but I think the magic unit is only good for open field. It's not really that great so far what I've seen whenever it launches rallies. So magic unit plays a good role into the game. It's great for open field. You don't want to, launch rallies with magic unit and just deplete yourself with, troops. Once when you rally somebody, you lose your troops, you die. You're not gonna have any more open field march for the magic unit. So magic unit, I'd say it's a great setup in here. If you enjoy the long range combat, super long range, then this is something that you want to play on. And what's great about this is that you can attack the marksmen whenever they are still out of range. You can hit that. You can hit incoming infantry and hit incoming cavalry as well. But the thing here, you need to be cautious because even though you have that range, you are going to be very slow with the movement of magic units. Now, let's talk about marksmen. Marksman is another range combat unit in here in Call of Dragons. So, as you guys know, many people will, be using marksman in Behemoth. So marksmen plays a significant role in Call of Dragons. I would say there's a lot more marksmen in comparison to magic units that player uses. So marksman is something that you want to invest into, especially if you want to get dibs into the Behemoth raids and try to get into the top score. Marksman is the way to do things in the game. Although the hardest part about marksman is that it's only at a medium range, which means there are a lot of AoEs from behemoths, from players that can catch up to you. So that medium range of marksman is definitely a deficit for comparison to the magic unit. Although the marksman deals a lot more damage and they've got some really good heroes as well. So if you decide that you want to go for marksman, you are going to pick the Spring Warden instead of League of Warders for magic, then you will have one win. And then you will have a hero that you can invest in here also, like Nico for legendary. You will have Craig as well for the epic, which I've also used a lot in here. And then there's other ones in here. There is also I don't have the newest heroes yet, but there is also Nico, and as well as Kenara, and there's the new ones in here as well that are coming out, which I'm going to see soon in the next season. So marksman is a really good investment. I think if you invest in marksman in Call of Dragons, I don't think you can go wrong, and I don't think you're going to regret marksman. Plus, whenever you go into combat and PvP, when you go into the keeps, you will see a lot of marksmen. So if you're gonna hit the marksman, it's better to hit it with a neutral marksman to marksman rather than going for mage to marksman. Your magic unit will deal good amount of damage, but it will really absorb so much damage from the marksmen. So the marksmen, you got to watch out for cavalry. They really counter you hard, and they're going to be able to wreck you. Now, let's talk about Cavs. I really, really, really enjoy the Cavs. So far, I think Cavs has been the most fun I have used. Initially, I was enjoying the magic unit. When I first started into the game, I was like, this is so cool. The range combat was amazing. But honestly, in season SS1, in here, as we're ending, I've changed into cabs in the later stages of the game. I really say I do enjoy playing with cabs, and I think you should be a spring warden to truly enjoy the cabs. As you can see, we have increased a lot onto our PvP kills, 16 million for both of them, and let's see how much we did for Lilia in here. We got 14 million, and I tell you this, I didn't really use cabs until nearly into the end of the season, because I realized how powerful the Spring Warden cabs is, even though the stats are low, but the range of the Elk Riders are really good. So for those players who are thinking about cavalry units, I would say this is something where, like, if you have to go for Spring Wardens, and then what I would recommend is that you bully those players that are stationed in the keep, those marksmen that stations in the keep, you bully them by using your Spring Warden with your cabs. Cabs are super strong, fast mobility, can get in and out. One more thing I should say is that if you're looking to have some fun within the game, let's say you're just, you want to, hunt farmers, plays a major role into the game. You kill those farmers that can't farm, you fill up their hospital as well. If they heal those, then it's not going to be good because they can't fight. So cabs, I would say, is an amazing unit. These heroes that you're going to be investing into, I would say, get Bakshi, but you don't have to go for 6-star to Bakshi. Go for Emery's. Yes, you can do 6-star. I talked about this previously on my mistake about making Bakshi as a 6-star, because this is a peacekeeping hero, and eventually there's going to be a better hero that is going to come out. So you can work on Bakshi, Emery's, and then you can work on Alistair, which I've seen a lot. The mobility is really fun here with Emery. So a lot of times I will see like Emery's and Alistair combo. Those are for the players who don't spend a lot into the game. I've seen also players use Hosk. I don't recommend Hosk though, because I feel like Hosk doesn't really give you a whole lot of value. I would rather go for Bakshi instead of going for Hosk. Emery, Bakshi, that's a combo if you're a spender. But yeah, Alistair is a great option to use in here. Now, there is not a lot of cabs units in here, so another option that you can do is you can also work on Thea to use as a cavalry hero. Even though this hero technically is an overall, it will work on every single hero that you pair it up with. So cavalry units, this is something that where you gotta enjoy. You gotta have fun, hunt. And one more thing for the whales, cabs is probably the best option for all the whales in here, because when you do rallying the pass to capture it, cabs is the best thing to do it. Not infantry. Infantry has a low damage. Cab has high damage out of all, except for, of course, Spring Wardens. Cabs plays a major role into the game. Without the cabs, you can't hunt the players, you can't go into the back line and flank the player. So cabs create chaos within the game, which makes it so much fun and enjoyable to play with. So I would really recommend that many of you guys who want to enjoy the game, go for cabs. All right. Now, the last unit that we want to talk about is infantry. Now, I'm not as specialized into infantry. I'm actually more onto the mage and as well as to the cabs. So one thing that I would say in here, when you are playing infantry, this is the tank role. So many people will play the game and they only look into merits and how to get more kills. One thing that I should say is that when you play the infantry, you need to have the mindset of that you may not be able to be the one that gets a lot of merits within the game, but you are contributing a lot into the alliance. One thing that I would also tell, if you are into the leadership, please do not discredit your infantry units in here. Encourage your infantry units in here, or your infantry team. Encourage people in your alliance to build infantry, because without infantry, there is no front line, and players can just basically dive in and kill all the marksmen and magic units. So infantry plays a very, very good role. Infantry is important within Call of Dragons. So I recommend many players to play infantry to provide support for your team. You're not going to get the most merits. You're going to be the one tanking. And one more thing to say is that when you're playing infantry, you do have this kind of like exclusivity or exclusiveness, because whenever players are going to be going for the behemoth raids, typically they need a tank. So I would say if you have infantry, you pretty much have a guaranteed ticket to getting into the raids for the behemoths. Infantry plays a major role. I don't look down on players who plays infantry. I think players who plays infantry is very, very important, and I think we need more of the players to play infantry. A lot of players want to play DPS, want to play carry, but without the tank, it's so hard to win into the game. So if you are a spender, what I would recommend, have at least one march that focuses on infantry. Tank for the players in your team. It's okay if that infantry doesn't get a lot of merits. Just focus on tanking. So let's take a look into my merits in here for Nika. I have about only 1.8 million merits in here, as you can see. But the goal for this is tanking. I wish that we could see like a stats where how much damage we absorb, because we can definitely see that the absorption of the damage within the game is very important as well. Players focuses on those infantry. They got to eliminate it first. And one thing that is great about infantry is that whenever you see a cavs, you can target that cavs and hit it, and it will slow down the cab significantly. And I don't know if you guys have paid attention very clearly in here. If you look into the infantry skill in here, it has a skill called Rampage, which is going to slow down the enemy. All right, 75% for 8 seconds. And it can also interrupt the cav skill Unyielding Rush. So honestly, you can attack any units in there. It's going to slow it down because that's what the infantry has. But cabs are fast, so you want to target the cabs so that they can't get away and they can't bully the marksman or as well as the magic units within the game. So there's definitely, very different roles that you can play in Call of Dragons. It really depends on your playing style and how you want to have fun. For me, I really enjoy the, cavalry. I enjoy the DPS part. But if you are one of those players who enjoy tanking for everyone, being more selfless, then I would say go for infantry and focus onto that. Imagine one day if you can have like 5 infantry marches and you're going to be the best tank in the world in Call of Dragons, then people will be, commending you, and they can't go to war without having you. They're going to be looking for you. It's like, where is our tank today? How can we win the war without our tank? So, infantry, I want to say for those players who plays it, I want to say, good job, and I salute you guys. You guys do a wonderful job and make the game so much more fun as well within Call of Dragons. At the end of the day, guys, I want you guys to understand that this is a video game and just have some fun and take it easy and don't take things way too serious. I know a lot of players take the game extremely serious, especially when it comes to politics in here. Anyway, my friends in Call of Dragons, thank you guys for watching and always supporting the channel. Consider subscribing and turn your notification on. And if you guys like the content, consider liking the video. Anyway, I'll see you guys again next time.